I just want to start off by saying this is a path following video. This is not a path finding video. This does not find a path, it just follows one that is laid out by you. So before I show you how to do this, I think it's important to go over like some examples of using it. One big one is tower defense games. The enemies need to follow a path, and I mean, it's a pretty important part of the game. Now, I know some tower defense games, the enemies find a path, but for a lot of them, they just follow a path. Another one is racing games. There's the track, and the AI race cars need to follow the path. With this technique, you can add some variance to it too. It's not just like a straight path, so the cars could take slightly different paths. And you can actually see that here. They're not all just walking single file. They're going to different points. So let's just get right into it. We have a blank puppet with literally just some poses, so there's some running animations, but that's it. There's no controller sensor or anything. So let's start with the idea. How is this going to work? How is this going to work? We're gonna have, I'm gonna call them nodes. We're gonna have like checkpoints kind of thing. Let's call them checkpoints so it's more relatable. So for example, the follower starts on this checkpoint. This checkpoint tells the follower to go to this one. And then once the follower gets to this one will tell the follower to go to that one. And then you can chain them together as much as you want. That's what we're going to be doing today. So what does that look like? The checkpoints themselves are very, very simple. It is two things. The first thing is its position. Because how's the follower going to know where to go unless we have the position of the checkpoint? So for that we need a tag, and we need to split the scene space transform of the tag because we only want the position. And what do we do with that? We are going to pass it through a node. Let's name this node position, and this position is going to be sent to the previous checkpoint. Let's say we're at the previous checkpoint. What do we do with that position that we've just received? We're going to transmit it. We need to tell the follower the next position, right? So we are going to transmit it like this. We're going to call this next position. Okay. So what does this look like? Let's say the follower starts at this checkpoint and goes to this checkpoint. The next position is going to be this checkpoint's position, right? Let's call this next position. Okay. So again, this checkpoint needs to tell the follower which checkpoint to go to next, which is this checkpoint. That's it for the checkpoints. That's literally it. Now for the puppet logic. Now it gets a little more complex. Because it's more complex, I decided to just make it off camera. I've done this before, but I felt like there was a better way to do it, and I was right. So here it is. It's not that crazy, but let me just explain it. Before I explain it though, I've made a path. I've made a path of 3 nodes. It's all connected. So how do you connect the path? Again, we're going from this one to this one, then this one to this one, then this one to this one, and then it loops around. So to make it go from this one to this one, we plug the position of this one into the next position of this one. For it to go from this one to this one, we take this one's position and plug it into this one's next position, etc., etc. So anyway, how does this work? I'm gonna take it step by step. We're receiving the next position through a wireless receiver. And remember, that was this. And it's very important for this to work. It needs to start on one of the checkpoints. Doesn't matter which one, but it needs to start on one of them. Doesn't matter which one if it's a circle. Okay, great. Now what? We are passing it through a signal manipulator. The whole point of this signal manipulator is to freeze. Okay, great. When are we freezing? This NOT gate is saying we're always freezing, unless this signal manipulator pulses on. Because when it pulses on, this NOT gate will pulse off, unfreezing the value. When does this pulse on? When there's a value. So you can see if we play time and then pause, this value that was passed through here is being stored because this NOT gate is on. It's freezing it. The moment this wireless receiver receives another value, it will pulse this signal manipulator on, pulsing this NOT gate off, unfreezing the previously stored value. And then 1 frame later, it will start freezing. And what does it freeze? It freezes the new value that's here, which will be the next position. Bam. See? So you just saw that happen. Let's watch it again. So right there. Notice how this is a pulse, right? Yeah. This was pulsed. This was pulsed. It's not pulsing anymore, but it was pulsed. Turn this NOT gate off, unfroze. Now it's refrozen 1 frame later. The new value, the new next position. Now, we just passed that save value into a follower. There's one other thing though. There's one other thing, and it's this timer. I think the best way to explain this timer is to show you what happens when we don't have the timer. So notice how it worked from here to here, but from here to here, it dies, right? Notice how nothing's saved here. Why does that happen? The reason this happens is because from here to here, it's fine. And then from here to here, once it receives this new value, it immediately starts going to it. Unfortunately, signal manipulators take 1 frame to actually freeze. Well, the reason it takes a frame to freeze, in this example at least, is because once the new value comes in, we unfreeze for 1 frame. And in that 1 frame, it moves out of range. The wireless receiver moves out of range of the tag, meaning the value becomes 0 when it starts freezing again. So we're freezing 0. So that's why you see it go to the origin, to 0. That's why we have this timer. I am curious what happens when I do this. I don't think this will work, but it might. Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't even need the timer. Well, that's why you try things. So it still is flickering off, but it's flickering off for 1 less frame. The follower turns off while this makes perfect sense, by the way. The follower turns off when we're not freezing. When we are freezing, the follower is on, because when we're freezing, the value, the position we're traveling to, is frozen. So there you go. It's even simpler. We don't even need the timer. It can break, but and let me explain how it breaks. If these checkpoints are moving, it breaks. See? Oh, and it's imperative that it starts on a checkpoint. So the checkpoints cannot move. That's really important. So one last thing for this demo, aside from making making more checkpoints, which I will do, is adding a rocket rotator. This will make the whoops, this will make the follower face the direction they're moving. So let's do that. Let's do this. Let's make it pretty fast. Let's try this. Let's make it faster. 180 isn't that much. Yeah, there you go. Alternatively, you could use a look at Rotator and pass this position in, this save position in, but the Rocket Rotator just is more intuitive. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to off screen add some more checkpoints just to, and I can add some more followers. Let's see this in action. All right, we're back. I've made the track cooler, and I've done a bug fix, and I've randomized the speed of the follower. What was the bug fix? Well, when I moved the track towards the center, we ended up in negative values. And when the fat wire position was negative, it wasn't triggering this pulse. So to make sure this pulse always triggers when this is not 0, we check if it's equal to 0, not. We check if it's not equal to 0, that triggers the pulse. So I just added this. And you're probably thinking, what if one of the checkpoints is exactly at 0? Then it won't work. So don't put your checkpoint at 0, 0, 0. That would break the entire thing. Don't do that. Okay, anyway, in the randomized speed, we have a signal generator, which is generating a value from 1 to 10 every frame. And then after 0.1 seconds, we freeze that value, and that value gets multiplied by the speed, which is apparently 4.7. Let's just make it 5. Let's make 99.99. And that's it. So let's check it out. You'll notice how it works even though the follower is going very fast. And that just is a testament to how well the system works. I don't know what to say. I think it'll be cooler if we add some more. So there you go. If it wasn't obvious, this system works with multiple followers. So I guess while we're watching this, some limitations. Again, you cannot move the checkpoints because, I mean, let me just explain why. We're saving the position of the checkpoint in the follower, and it's not being updated, right? It's not being updated. So if it moves, then the save position is like wrong. It's outdated. Oh no! Aw, these guys are bullies. I shouldn't have made them collidable with each other. There we go. Some other things. What if you want the follower to go along this path and then leave the path and then go back on the path? If you're going to do that, and you definitely can. If you're going to, though, it can leave the path wherever. It doesn't matter. But to get back on the path, it needs to go to a checkpoint. It has to go to a checkpoint because the checkpoint gives the follower the next place it's going, right? So you have to figure out a way to get it to go back to a checkpoint. Consider, and maybe I make a tutorial on this if you guys want, but I'm trying to open this. There we go. These all have tags, right? Consider naming this tag something. And then consider putting a follower on the follower. Nice. To follow the checkpoint, to go to the closest checkpoint. That would work fine. But yeah, okay. They keep colliding with each other, and that's why this is happening. It's just don't worry about that. What else? I can't really think of anything else. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This is on the Dreamiverse. It's remixable. I implore you guys to check this out. Look at the logic, mess with it, remix it. Highly recommend that. All right, let's try this. I'd be very surprised if this didn't work. All right, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I stream dreams on Twitch. I don't just make YouTube videos. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And it's a great place to ask me any questions and also watch me build stuff. Right now I'm making a pretty cool tower defense game. If you need additional dreams help, my Discord is a really, really good place to just ask any questions you have. The link is in the description. But yeah, that's it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you later.
I just wanna be